Hello and welcome to daily number workout number 7. Hopefully you've got everything done already and you're just looking to see if you covered all your bases. So here we go. Word form. Word form for number 7 is SEVEN. 7. Let me double check, make sure you can see that okay. Yep. And we're going to go on to multiples of 7, which equals 1 times 7 is 7. 2 times 7 is 14. 3 times 7 is 21. 4 times 7 is 28. 5 times 7 is 35. 6 times 7 is 42. 7 times 7 is 49. 8 times 7 is 56. 9 times 7 is 63. And 10 times 7 is 70. All right. Got to know our multiples. So we got to practice that. All right. Factors of 7. So we always start off with 1 times itself. So 1 times itself. And we say to ourselves, does 2 go into 7? No, because 7 is actually an odd number. So let's go ahead and write odd up here. We know it's odd. Does 3 go into 7 evenly? Nope. 3 goes into 6, but it doesn't go into 7. How about 4? Nope. 5? Absolutely not. It has to end in 5 or it's 0. And 6? Nope. So this is it. And because 1 and 7 is the only factors of this number, it is prime. So right up here, prime, and circle that. All right, so it's odd and it's a prime. So usually odd numbers and prime numbers have less activity on our number workout. So let's go with our fractions. Fraction equals decimal equals percent. All right, so our fraction today is 7 out of 10. And 7 does not go into 100, so we're just going to leave it at that. And if we write this in word form, it would be, 7 hundredths. When we go to write it in decimal form, it would be 0 and 7 hundredths. So we're going to write that. So 0 and 7 hundredths. Oops. And as you can see, I'm not perfect, so I just fix it as I go. That's the way I want you to do it. I want you to not worry about that stuff. Equals 7%. And again, if it's 7%, you get 7 cents off of every dollar at the store that you're in. All right, let's move on to ratio. So I'm going to move my paper up and we're going to go for ratio. And remember, ratio is just another way of writing the fraction in a different form. So 7 to 100 or 7 100. Let's move on to dollars. So hopefully you've already got that all written in and you're doing a good job of it. And I'm getting ready for us to move my paper up so you can see better. Let's go into dollar and cents. So we put a dollar sign and we have 0 whole dollars and we have 7 cents. So $0 and 7 cents. And there we have our fractions, decimals, and money. So let's move on to our next category, which is area and perimeter. And we want to write out the formula for area is width times length. The formula for perimeter is width times length times width times length. And of course, that kind of changes depending on the shape of our object. And the shape we're using today is just a rectangle. So let's draw our 7 across, our 7 squares in a horizontal position. So take your time. So it's 7 across and 1 high. So that would be our area equals 7 times 1, which equals 7 square units. And of course, if we go back to the same and we look at the perimeter, P equals 7 plus 1 plus 7 plus 1 equals 16 units. All right, let's go ahead and do it another way. If I have the space here, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm going to move my paper up so you can see better. So this would be a 1 by 7. So the area of this one equals 1 times 7, which equals 7 square units. And we do the perimeter. Now it would be a 1 by 7. Oops, I'm sorry. 1 plus 7 plus 1 plus 7 equals 16 units. Did you see how I just fixed it right there? I don't erase, I just fix it. So give yourself a break. All right, that looks good. That's the only way we can do it. Our factors are 1 times 7. We use our factor pairs to help us do the area and perimeter with our numbers that we're working on. So it's just how we change it up to play. All right, let's go ahead and put volume on here. So volume, let's go ahead and draw it horizontally. So here's what we're looking at. So draw your rectangular prism. So this is 7 across. And then we're going to do our diagonals to give it 3 dimensions because we got width times depth times height. So this is going to give it the depth. So we have 7 across. It's 1 deep and 1 tall. So our volume, we would write V equals 7 times 1 equals, well, 7 times 1 is 7 times 1 is 7 cubic units. And of course, we could stand it up if we wanted to. So I have room to do that today. So we're going to stand it up. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And again, we've got our diagonals coming back parallel to each other, which makes it easier. And then we can come straight down. So we have a 1 by 1 deep, 1 wide by 1 deep by 7 high. So this volume would be this 1 times 7 equals 7 cubic units. So that means we can play around with our cubes and make them look like this or like this. So this could be a chimney. This could be the base of a planter in your front yard to put flowers in. So volume is 3-dimensional, area is 2-dimensional. All right, we're done with our daily number workout number 7. I'll see you tomorrow for daily number workout 8. Have a nice day.